again to our channel. So ngayon pag-usapan natin yung intermediate value versus the extreme value theorem, which is also under ng continuity natin. False. Dito yung isang piecewise function, alamin natin if the function is continuous nga ba with the following conditions or not. So, piecewise function, dalawa yung function natin. Una, x squared minus 4. Condition natin, interval is at 0, 2. Second function, negative x plus 8, if x is equal to negative 2, 0. Ito naman yung interval ng second function. So, para makuha kung continuous nga ba yung function natin or not, so aalamin muna natin kung yung function mismo is continuous from the right at a. Okay? So, tatlo lang yung steps dito. Alamin natin kung yung f of a natin is defined, kung yung limit exists, then we will compare your step 1 and step 2. Kung parehas, then your function is continuous from the right at a. Let's see. So, alin dito yung gagamitin natin? Meron tayong dalawang intervals dito. Itong una, then we have your second interval. So, para makuha yung continuity ng ating function from the right at a, we will use this function, negative x plus 8, since interval is at negative 2, 0. So, kasama yung negative 2 dito. So, this will be your a. So, para makuha yan, substitute lahat ng a magiging negative 2. We have f of negative 2. Again, this is the function na gagamitin. Substitution, and the answer is 12. And 12 is defined. Dako tayo sa step 2. Alamin natin yung limit ng ating function, same function pa rin, as x approaches negative to positive, kasi from the right at a. Then substitution, the answer is 12. And then compare natin, yung step 1 and step 2, pareho ba? 12 and 12, pareho. Then, your function is continuous from the right at a. Dako tayo sa left at b naman. Kung tuloy-tuloy din ba siya from the left at b. We have the following steps. Kunin natin, yung b naman natin is, ito, the 2. Kasi based on, between the two intervals na meron tayo, yung 2 na to is a part of possible values per x. So, ito yung gagamitin natin for the value of b. So, lahat ng b magiging 2, and this is the function required to solve for the continuity of the function from the left at b. So, x squared minus 4. So, substitute natin. Lahat ng b again, magiging 2. So, f of 2 is equal to, ito yung function, x squared minus 4. That is 2 squared minus 4, or that is equal to 0. Step 2, alamin natin yung limit niya as x approaches 2 negative naman. So, substitution lang din, 4 squared minus 4 is also equal to 0. Then, step 3, i-compare natin yung step 1 and step 2. Pareho ba? Yes, they are the same. Then, your function is continuous from the left at b. Since continuous yung function natin from the right at a and also continuous from the left at b, then we can conclude that f is continuous at every number in, we have your negative 2, 2. Function is continuous at interval or not. This is our function, and we have the following intervals. So, we have 0, 2. We have also your 2, 5, and we have your negative 2, 2. So, ulitin na natin para malaman kung continuous yung function natin at a given interval or not, kung yung denominator natin magiging 0. So, either yung function becomes indeterminate or undefined. It will make your function not continuous. So, ano yung mga possible values for your x that will make it undefined or indeterminate? Okay? So, pwede tayong gumamit ng factoring dito. So, factoring, walang factors. Pwedeng other way, which is your quadratic formula. Okay? So, pwede nating gamitin yung quadratic formula yan. So, yung 0, 2 ba? Continuous at interval? Okay. Yes. Okay, continuous at interval yung function natin. By substitution, we get 0. So, 0, so we have negative 1 yung denominator. Kung 1 naman, we have 1, minus 1 is 0, then we have negative 3, which is not equal to 0, so continuous. Kung 2 naman siya, we have 4, minus 6, that is negative 2, minus 1, that is negative 3. Okay, so continuous at interval yung function natin. How about 2, 5? So kanina, okay yung 2 continuous. How about 3? So we have 9 minus 9, that is 0. So may naiwan pa negative 1. So continuous din yung 3. How about 4? We have 16. 16 minus 12, that is 4 minus 1, that is 3. Continuous din siya. How about 5? We have 25 minus 15, that is 10 minus 1, that is 9. So continuous din siya. So continuous din po yung 2, 5 na interval natin. How about negative 2 and 2? So yung negative 2, 2 natin as an interval is not continuous. Okay, bakit hindi siya continuous? So again, negative 2, 2. So the function is discontinuous at interval. Saan siya discontinuous? Meron tayo dito existence of asymptote. Okay? Dalawa. Una, asymptotic siya at x is equal to 3.30278. Makukuha yung value ng x nito using quadratic formula. And also, asymptotic din siya if our x is equal to negative 0.302776. And the graph of this is infinite. Okay? So meron tayong two limits. We have your positive infinity and we have your negative infinity since asymptote yung ating function. Let f, our function, be a function continuous on closed interval AB. Ulitin lang natin Pag sinabi natin interval AB naka-enclose sa brackets, that means kasama sa values of your x yung A at saka yung B at yung mga nasa pagitan ng A and B natin. With f of A is not equal to f of B. Then, for any value k between f of A and f of B, there exists a number c which is an element of your AB such that f of c is equal to your k constant. The graph of a function continuous on a closed interval must hit all intermediate elevations k between f of a and f of b. And this is the graph of your intermediate value theorem. So ulitin na natin na lahat po ng mga possible values for your x's must hit, okay, between your f of a, so this is your f of a, and your f of v. If una, continuous siya saan? Left at b, continuous din siya from right at a, and also continuous siya for every a of b. So let's say for example, we have the piecewise function x squared with the given interval, negative 2, 2. So negative 2 is part of this interval, while 2 here is not part of the interval. We have also another function 2x. So interval natin is 2, 5. 2 is not a part of the x's natin here, but 5 is. So paano natin gagamitin yung intermediate value theorem? So sabi kanina, every k has a corresponding a in the x-axis based on the interval. So dito gagamit tayo ng table of values, okay? Na kung saan meron tayong values for your x's and values for your y. So for the value of x, we have your values of your a na nasa interval natin. Ito, yung mga a nito. And yung y po natin, these are values of your k. So sabi kanina, every k has a corresponding a in the x-axis based on the interval. So bawat value ng y natin corresponding a in the x-axis value based on the interval. So we have here, yung pinakamababang value natin ng interval is negative 2. Ito, this is part of x here. Kasi naka-bracket siya. So negative 2, yung pinakamababa at yung pinakamataas is 5. So by table of values, gawa lang tayo negative 2. At yung mga values nasa pagitan ng negative 2 and 5. These are negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, until we reach to the maximum which is 5. Now, anong gagawin natin? We will simply substitute your values of your a to get the value of your y, or that is your k. Okay? So, una, we have negative 2. So, ito yung negative 2. This is the function na gagamitin. So, negative 2 squared is 4. If a naman natin is negative 1, saan yung negative 1? So, dito siya. nasa pagitan ni -2 at saka ni 2, and the function is x squared to get the value of 1. If x naman is equal to 0, nasa 0, again, nandito pa rin siya, and the function is x squared, then 0 squared is equal to 0. How about 1? So same pa rin, function is x squared, so we have 1 squared, or that is 1. How about 2? So either. So ito at saka ito. So we will use the both functions. So 2 squared is 4, and 2 times 2 is also equal to 4. So pareho din sila, then we will get 4. 3 naman, nasa pagitan ng 2 and 5, so the function is 2x. So 2 times 3 to get 6. Yung 4 naman natin, function is 2x kasi nga nasa pagitan siya ng 2, 5. So 2 times 4 is 8, and 2 times 5 is 10. So ito yung mga values ng ating piecewise function. And this is the continuity of your function. So we have -2, and then we have 5. This is your intermediate value theorem. And this is the graph. So we have your -2, and we have also your 5 positive. Another example. Use intermediate value theorem to verify that the function is continuous given the interval. So dito gagamit tayo ng table of values. So we have here a function f of x is equal to x squared minus 3 at the given interval, which is at 1, 3. So ibig sabihin yung mga values ng x natin are 1, 2, and 3. Kasama po si 1 at saka si 3. So sabi kanina, every k has a corresponding a in the x-axis based on the interval. So yung mga values ng x natin are si 1, si 2 na nasa gitna, at saka si 3. Then substitute if a or x is equal to 1, then we will get 1 squared minus 3, or that is -2. If a is equal to 2, then we get 4 minus 1, that is 3. 4 minus 3 rather, which is equal to 1. If x is equal to 3 naman, so we get 9 squared minus 3, that is equal to 6. So ito yung mga values ng ating y. Thus, continuous siya, tuloy-tuloy siya at 1, 3. Wala po tayo nakikitang undefined dito or indeterminate, then the function is continuous. And this is another example. We have your function, rational. Ito naman yung interval natin, -2 and 2. Again, every k has a corresponding a in the x-axis based on the interval. My table of values. So, since our interval is at -2, 2, so yung mga possible values ng x natin is -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. Then, substitute natin. If x is -2, we get 4. If x is -1, we will get undefined. Kasi nga, yung denominator natin becomes 0. If x is equal to 0, then your y is 0. If x is 1, then your y is 1. If x is 2, and then your y is 4/3. Thus, hindi po siya continuous, okay, at interval. Kasi nga, meron tayong presence of undefined here. Pag undefined yung y natin, we have the presence of or existence of asymptote. Okay? Asymptotic siya at x is equal to -1. Rational function, interval 2, 4. So, table of values pa rin. Interval po natin is 2, 4. So, ito yung mga possible values for your x. 2, 3, and 4. So, ano kaya yung mga values ng y natin? You need to try this. Then, you need to find kung continuous ba or not at a given interval. Theorem. So, let f, same pa rin tayo. So, meron tayo ditong if f of a and f of b have opposite signs, then merong 0 yung function natin in the given interval ab. So, ulitin na natin. Kung magkakabaliktaran yung signs ng ating functions, okay, a and b, so a is negative, b is positive, or vice versa, then meron nag-i-exist na 0 in between. Then we can say that a is less than c, and C is less than B. So yung C natin dito is the zeros. Dito natin makikita yung zero ng function natin. Minus x minus 12 as x is equal to 3, 5. Ito yung interval ng ating function. So, aalamin natin kung merong 0 yung function na to. Anong gagawin? Simple lang, kukunin natin yung f of a and also your f of b. Para naman sa f of a, yung a natin is equal to 3. Okay, sa interval, yung pala yung nauna, that is the value of your a. So, if a is equal to 3, then f of a is equal to, substitute lang, that is negative 6. How about 5? So, yung f of a natin is negative siya, ha? So, how about f of b? So, yung b natin is equal to 5, lahat ng b magiging 5. So, f of 5 equals to, substitute lang, that is 8. 8 is positive, okay? So, balikan natin, f of a natin is negative, then f of b natin is positive. So, that means, merong 0 na nasa gitna ng ating interval 3, 5. Okay? So, there is an existence of 0 in between of your interval. Para makuha yon, f of c is equal to 0. This is your 0, ha? So, we will equate your function to 0. Maging ganito siya. And then factor, that is x minus 4 times x plus 3 is equal to 0. Then equate to 0. Hatiin natin sa dalawa. Then transpose or addition property of equality. We have two possible answers for x. Either 4 siya or x is equal to negative 3. Now, we will inspect yung 4 ba nasa gitna ng 2 and 5? Yes. So, pwede yung value natin is equal to 4. How about negative 3? Yung negative 3 ba nasa gitna ng 3 and 5? No. Then, the only possible values for x here is 4. And that will make your function 0. And this is the table. So, dito makita natin na mayroong existence of 0 talaga yung function natin, which is at 4. So, we have function, rational. Interval natin is negative 2, 2. Ganun pa rin yung paraan. Kunin natin yung f of a. A is negative 2. Substitute to get negative 1. For f of b naman, yung b natin is 2, then substitute to get 3. Now, we will look for the signs. F of a is negative, while f of b is positive. Since magkabaliktaran yung signs ng f of a and f of b, there is an existence of 0 in your functions between your interval. So, para makuha yung 0 ng ating interval, we will equate again your expression to 0. Maging ganito siya. And then, yung gagawin natin is to factor the numerator. That is, ito. Then, cancellation. May iwan si x plus 1 is equal to 0. Transpose to get a value of your x, and that is negative 1. So, negative 1 ba makita sa gitna? Or in between of negative 2 and 2? Yes. Nandoon siya in between of negative 2 and 2. Thus, that is the 0 of your function. And by the table, we have here, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2. Makikita natin na yung y natin is equal to 0 if your x is equal to negative 1. So dito, malalaman natin, or makikita natin na yung function natin has an absolute maximum and an absolute minimum on a, b. So, dito, malalaman natin kung ano yung pinaka mataas na value for your interval at ano naman yung pinakamababang value for your interval. Example, piecewise function. X squared, given interval, 2x, given interval. Pareho pa rin kanina. And this is the graph of your piecewise function. This is the graph of your x squared. And this is the graph of your 2x. Straight line naman siya. Parabola naman sa x squared. So, dito mapapansin natin, if your x is equal to negative 2, so dito yung point niya, this is the value of your f of x. If this is your negative 1, the value of x naman, ito naman yung f of x. If x is equal to 0, then your f of x is also equal to 0. Okay? So, mapapansin natin dito sa graph na merong pinakamababang point, okay? At may pinakamataas na point. So, ano yun? Ito. This is your absolute minimum and this is your absolute maximum. Okay? By inspection, your absolute minimum is at 0, 0. Okay? X is 0 and Y is 0. Yung maximum naman, absolute maximum natin is at 5, 10. Using graph. So using table naman, we have here, mapapansin natin na yung pinakamababang value ng x is, ng y rather, is 0, kung yung x natin is 0. This is your absolute minimum. The point contained the lowest in k will be the absolute minimum. Kung ano yung value ng y natin or k na pinakamababa, 0 or negative numbers, okay, or pinakamababang positive numbers na makita sa y or k, that is your absolute minimum. Okay? Kung yung value naman ng k or y is pinakamataas, saan yung pinakamataas dito? Ito yung 10. If x is equal to 5, that is your absolute maximum naman. So, yun yung extreme value theorem natin.